Hi everyone. Okay, I'm going to give this a try. The issue seems to be the way the camera is oriented, and I got it to work, but I'm not sure which way it's going to show up. So I'm just checking my computer, and I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, it's not showing. Why is it not showing? I know it says it's live and it's recording, so... Whoa, it's been quite the morning. There's the card that I hope to make, if I can get this to work. Oh, hey! Okay, except that I have a lot of spelling in my in my heading, so I'll fix that when I'm done. But hello, and welcome to Stamping with Glenda in my craft room. We're going to make this Christmas card today, and it comes right off the front of the holiday catalog. It uses the Tidings All Around stamp set. So here it is, right there. So we were talking in my seniors group yesterday. Oh, was it only yesterday? About where to get our inspiration from. I get a lot of mine from the catalog, right out of the catalog. Okay, so I just have to get everything set up here because I put it all away because I was making another card. So now I'm just going to get all the stamps and different stuff out. Get my inks here, make sure I'm oriented, and I'm going to show you a couple of cool tricks. As tricks and tips are always fun. Okay, I'm set up now. So we're using the Tidings All Around stamp set and the leaf die that comes with the Christmas cardinal dies, and one of the circle stitched die, it's the second one, and some tall tiding glitter enamel dots. Now I seem to have an overabundance of green ones and a shortage of red ones, and I used red on here, but I'm going to show you how to change the color of them. Okay, so the recipe. There's the recipe. The ink we're using is Garden Green and Real Red. And then I'm going to show you a little trick with the champagne mist. When I made the card originally, I mixed Real Red re-inker in with the champagne mist, but it doesn't really make a difference, so I'm not going to do it. But you can turn the champagne mist shimmer paint into any color you want, and some 12 Tidings designer paper as well. Okay, so let's put this up in the corner so you can see it. You can watch as there, get it in. Oh, now I need to move my camera up just a bit. There, that's better. Because you need to see what's going on, not my belly hanging over. Okay, it sleeves up so we can do some serious stamping. Okay, we're also going to use a piece of this ribbon, which is called the, oh, well, I don't know what it's called. And I don't think it's not on its original thing. So let's get the catalog out so I can tell you what the ribbon is called. And I have a handy dandy index on the back, and it's called Real Red Ruched Ribbon 1 inch, and it's on page 7 and 13. We're using the 12 Tidings, what's it called? Yeah, 12 Tidings designer paper, and it's the background color in it is vanilla, so that's what we're going to use. So when I cut this, do it from the top of the card to the bottom of the card, I always make it longer than the card, which works out really well with this paper, well, with any of our designer paper, because it is 12 inch, so I just cut it in half. And then I attach it and cut off the excess. I'm OCD, which I have fully admitted for many years now. And I just can't make a card that has color showing at the top and or the bottom when you put your designer paper on. So yeah, it's I make it longer and cut it off. That way I don't have the little bits hanging off the top. So the couple of little tricks I'm going to show you is, one is how to color any of our embellishments with the Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol based, so they stay. You can't use the regular Stampin' Right markers because they're water based and they won't work. They will just rub it themselves off. Now I'm trying to get this centered here, but the flowers are getting in the way at the bottom. Okay, so we'll just put it there, and there. There we go. Get rid of those rabbit ears. And of course there has to always be one that doesn't work properly. There we are. Okay, so there, I've attached it to the card. So now I just flip it over, take my scissors, and just cut this off like this. And kind of have to be a little careful, because if you have adhesive hanging off the end, then it will stick to your scissors. But this way I avoid that color showing at the top and or the bottom of my card. Okay, so I don't know whether anybody's going to watch me live because I didn't give notification when I'd be on here, because I didn't want to lose the connection I had. Okay, so I'm going to do the wreath. Now this is a wreath from the Tidings All Around stamp set and Garden Green ink, and it's so easy to use. When you have a big stamp like this, stick the stamp upside down on your table and put the ink on the stamp instead of trying to put the stamp into the ink pad. It works better. Okay, so this is a square piece, and I'm going to just stamp it in the middle like this, rub my fingers around it, and then lift it up, and without re-inking it, I'm just going to turn it a bit and re-stamp it. That way you get a light and a dark image on there. Now you can pick it up and huff on it if you want. But look at that. How cool is that? So now this just goes, I'm going to close my ink before I get it everywhere. The way my day's been going. Yeah, I had a dentist appointment this morning and it ran late, so then I had to boot it to get home in time for the 11 o'clock time I said for my Facebook Live, and then Facebook was acting up, and I was supposed to do a customer's delivery, and of course that was late, but lunch was good. I have a recipe for sauerkraut soup that is just to die for. If you like sauerkraut, you would love this soup. And I adore sauerkraut. I like anything that's got vinegar in it. Sometimes if I don't like my dinner, I just add vinegar to it. Sometimes. Okay, so there we are. That's just flat on there like that. Now, I'm going to take real red and the dots from the same stamp set, and I'm just going to go around, and I'm going to turn the stamp so that they're not all in the same direction, and just put them everywhere. There we are. Got it on my fingers, so I'll have to wash it off. Okay, so then I'll show you the trick with the Shimmer Mist paint in just a sec because I don't want to get it wet. Okay, now, where did I put my ribbon scissors? There they are. Okay, so this is the ribbon and it's really wide, so I'm just going to fold it over, but I want to flag the ends first. So if you take your ribbon and fold it in half like that, and I have the fold is up here and the open ends are down here. So then you cut, let me get it, you cut from the open ends into the center, into the fold, and look at that. It's perfect every single time. As long as you get your ribbon lined up and even, you will get a perfect flagging at the end. There we are. So now, get my glue dots. And I find with ribbon, glue dots are the best way to attach them. So somewhere in the middle, I'm just putting one glue dot so that I can fold my ribbon over and have it stay together. There we are. Now the rest of it is going to be held by the sentiment when we put the sentiment on. Now I'm just going to put a couple of glue dots on there and one on this side. Glue dots, yay, glue dots. Okay, and kind of get that centered and going straight. There we are. Okay, now we have to do the sentiment. So here's the piece for the sentiment, and I'm going to die cut that with the stitched circle die, and that's number 3 if you count from the inside. And I'm doing this before I stamp because I want to get the stamping in the right spot. So now I hope that it works. And just push it out, flatten it down a little bit. And there's my sentiment, and it's from the same stamp set. So not too long now till the Christmas Time is Here suite goes live for you guys. That happens tomorrow. So I've made some cards and I'll show them to you when we're done here. There we are. Now I have a piece of garden green and I have that leaf die from the Christmas Cardinal die set. I'm just going to cut it out in my die cutting machine. All right, where'd my pokey tool go? There we are. And now I'm just going to poke the extra little bits out, because if I don't remember to do it now, then it never gets done, and then those things build up and then you don't get good clean cuts. Okay, so now this just goes on here like that. So I'm going to pop a couple of dots of Tombow on here, and then I'll just let it dry for a bit. And remember, I said if you let your Tombow dry till it's clear, it acts like little tiny glue dots. So we'll just put that over there, and we'll get out the, if I can find them. Okay, where did my glimmer dots go? See, it's been one of those days, I tell ya. Okay, I have the marker. I just had them. Oh, there they are. Okay, so all you need to do, And I'm going to use, let me check what size I used. I used that size and one of the little ones. So I've already colored it, but I'll color another one. So all you have to do, this is the dark real red, and you just go over top of it like this, and then go around like this so you get the color right down to the bottom. And there you go. It's a bit darker, but if you're running out of red like I am, then this is a nice option. And not only do you get red, but you also get a couple of green highlights in there as well. So this is not quite dry yet, but I can put the dimensionals on. So I'm going to put dimensionals on each side so that it sits over top of the ribbon and not, or just sits over top of the ribbon, not attached to the ribbon. I probably have got this one in the wrong spot. Let's just pull that one back off again, and we'll have a look. Make sure it's going to fit on there properly. There we are. Okay. And you see the tombow? Let me pick it up. You can see it's starting to get clear. So it's starting to dry really nicely. By the time I get this done, it'll be dry enough to do. Okay, so here's putting the sentiment in the center, like that, over top of the ribbon. Now, pick this up with my scissors so I don't get glue all over my fingers. And just stick that on there like that. And see, there's no gushing. It doesn't gush out the sides. It's truly amazing glue. I have a lot of people ask me what my favorite glue is. And when I say Tombow, they look at me like I'm crazy. But over time I've learned little teeny tiny dots. Okay, so now I'm going to put these on here like this one. And to transfer them, I'm just going to take my scissors, hold the glitter dot with my finger, take my scissors and dig underneath so that the adhesive and everything comes up. And there's one. And there's two. And three. There we are. So that didn't take long to finish that. Now, Winkostella, because, you know, there's never enough bling on a card. So let's just go over top of the leaves here. I could have done this before I put them on here, but I didn't. Just remember when you use your Winkostella to give it a really good shake. Because otherwise you end up with something that's kind of gray. Which is okay if you're doing it on, like we are on this green cardstock, but when it's on white or vanilla, it's not a good thing. There we are. More bling, because I like bling. I don't think... Oh, hi Jean. Welcome. I'm glad you could join us. Yeah, it's been a trying day, but we will persevere. Okay, so now I want to show you the trick to get some bling on the red berries on the wreath. So this is just Champagne Mist Shimmer Paint. And if you shake it really well, then you get some in the lid. And I'm putting this well out of reach because things happen. And I just have a stylus. Any kind of stylus will do. And you just dip it in the ink and dot once. And each time you dot, you have to reload because there isn't enough to do. So depending on how many berries you have and how many berries you want to dot, you could be a while. But I'll just show you a couple of them so you get the idea. You don't need to see me dot 72,000 berries. But look at that, how cool that is. It just gives a little bit of bling extra. It doesn't matter what stylus you use. Even the stylus for your simply scored tool will work. And it still lets the red come through. Okay, I'll just finish this one side and then we'll go on to the inside. There, see? And then you just have to let it dry for a bit because it does take a little bit to dry. Okay, inside. I didn't show you inside. So there's the inside. Now, this stamp is also from the same set. So we've used the sentiment, we've used the dots, we've used the wreath, and now we're using this one. And this is, I don't know whether they would call that distinctive or not, but it definitely gives you varied levels of ink all on the same stamp. So if you live in Canada and you would like to place an order, I would be honored if you chose me as your demonstrator. Go to my online store at glendamollet.stampinup.net, and this is this week's host code. Hang on, I can't stamp and talk at the same time. There, look at that. Look at that. 3 different levels of that ink in the same stamp. Anyways, I have a special going on right now. Because this is I just had my 12th anniversary with Stampin' Up. I am offering 12% off all adhesives. So if you place an online order, I will reimburse you the 12%. If you contact me, you can be included in my group order. So all of the adhesives that are in the annual catalog, plus the black dimensionals from the holiday catalog, plus the shimmery crystal effects. They consider this adhesive, so I consider this adhesive. So you can get 12% off of that too. So if you need any more details, email me at gjmollet@shaw.ca. I'm happy to answer your questions. Okay, put this on the inside of the card. Oh, I didn't put the red berries on that. I will do that. All right, get my real red ink out here. And I just dotted a couple of berries on there just so that it's kind of cohesive from the front of the card to the back of the inside of the card. There we are. All done. That didn't take too long. It just took a long time to get here today, but it didn't take too long. The envelope, I'm not quite sure what I did with it, but I just stamped the same thing on the envelope as I did on the inside. So there's our 2 cards. And once again, here's the recipe for it. Oh. Hi, Madeline. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Saturday. Madeline and I and a couple of my downline are heading to Vancouver for a seminar. It's going to be a long day. Okay, so this is the Christmas Time is Here suite. Christmas Time is Here suite. And I think I've showed this to you before. You can buy everything as in the suite all together with one number. Or you can buy the stamp set and the dies in a bundle. And you can buy everything individually. Now these are Canadian prices, so if you're in Canada and you'd like a copy of this flyer, email me. I'm happy to share it with you. So, consists of the Christmas Rose stamp. It's a double set. I always put them in the same container because it takes up less room in my stamp drawer. So it's a little different because one of them is rubber and some of them are photopolymer. So the photopolymer ones, these are the photopolymer ones, and they fit inside here. So you stamp the outline of this and then you color it with all the little individual pieces. But I've used a couple of the pieces to do insides and add some fun interest to the card. And then there's these lovely sentiments. I love the font in them. So there's the double stamp set. And here's the matching roses dies. You also get a package of gold glitter enamel dots, some gold shimmer ribbon. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Just look at the shimmer in there. And designer paper, which I'll show you in a minute. And Stampin' Up is also has included in the suite a lovely bracelet, a gold tone Stampin' Up bracelet. So it has a Christmas rose on it and the Stampin' Up logo. And I've never put one of these bracelets on before. But apparently it just slides to get your wrist through and then closes up if you don't mess things up like I just did. There we are. Yeah, so there. Isn't that cute? All right, so the designer paper. Let me tell you how gorgeous this stuff is. I have to find the opening because I always put my designer paper in the package that it comes in. So I've used some of it. So you get 3 different patterns and you get 4 sheets of each one, and each pattern has gold accents to it. So there's one of the patterns. Here's the second one, and then that's the same one. There's one. There's the third one. So the flowers are all, the outline is gold foil. And then the dots in between is all gold foil. And this one, the gold is the pattern, and then the same thing with the white flowers are all gold. Now, let me explain about this pattern, because this is super duper cool. So in the die set, there's this huge die, which fits this stamp set. One way or the other it fits it. There we are. It fits there. So it'll cut, when you stamp that, it'll cut it out. But the cool thing is that it also cuts out. Yeah, you're saying, yeah, sure it does, Mollet. There. It also cuts out that pattern. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those, 4 and a bit of those, and then these ones it doesn't cut out, but those are really easy to hand cut. Okay, let me show you what I've done with them. So I made 3 cards because anybody who orders this entire suite or parts of the suite can benefit from my cards. So if you order the suite, you get a free class. If you're local, you can come and make the cards for free and we'll use your goodies. If you are not local and you purchase it, I will send you the PDF on how to make these along with the cardstock. So this is the first one I did, and it's with cherry cobbler. And there's the dots. See these dots? That's what you're supposed to fill the berries in with. Well, I just use them. And then there's the pine cone stamp that you can fill the pine cones in with. So I used it as well. And the dies and some gold foil. And the ribbon, there's a strip of ribbon there. And then on the inside, I used a piece of the designer paper and a strip of the ribbon as well. So that's card number 1. And then card number 2. Card number 2. This one I stamped. So I stamped this entire stamp in gold. And then I used this part to fill in the flowers. And then I used the leaf parts with the pine boughs. I used that to stamp in the green. And then I just took my blends and colored in the pine cones and the berries. And then I did a little flicky motion here with some shimmer paint. And then there's the inside. And see how I used this. See, this is part of the bough that you're supposed to stick in one of these. I just used it down the edge of the envelope and added a few pine cones. Sorry, I left the bracelet on and it's making an awful noise. Okay, and then there's card number 3. So the envelope is the same. And this one, I cut out the other pattern from the designer paper. Added a die cut, some of the, I don't know what you would call that. Wire pattern? Hexagon pattern? I don't know. I used a piece of it anyways and some gold. And then did the sentiment and added the gold shimmered glimmer dots. I put them on here too. And I put them on the first card. There's 3 of them on each card. And then for the inside, I used a few die cuts in that same stamp again and the sentiment. So, if you order this from me during November, if you're local, you will be invited to come and create the cards in my studio. If you are long distance, then I will send you a PDF file, how to make all 3 cards for free, and I will send you the cardstock that I used that's extra to your suite that you'll be getting. So here's the entire suite. Now this is available November the 1st, and they don't have an end date because it's going to be available until they run out. And nobody knows how long that's going to be. So that's it. Of course, today is Halloween, and back east they're out trick-or-treating, and here we still have a couple of hours till trick-or-treating starts. The sun is shining and it's a gorgeous day. And I hope you have had a wonderful day wherever you are, and thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back next week. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Bye for now.